Sign this petition or I'll follow you home and kill your dog.
Last night's UFC card, UFC 316, it corrected a lot of different narratives that were widespread throughout the sport about individual fighters. Different fighters spoke on different opinions that the fan base has about them and their post-fights. We heard from Dana White, who we hadn't seen all week. He sounds like he's been fighting some type of illness. I think the hating needs to stop, man. Nobody deserves it. And the thing that we still have left after all of the critiquing and all of the slander, man, it's actually a good thing still. And even last night's card largely didn't produce that many finishes, but the important fights, those outcomes, they did result in finish. The co-main, the main event, Joshua Van on the featured prelim, and even throughout a couple of other different fights, we got some pretty entertaining matches. We got a beautiful check hook knockout by Ju Sang Yu. This is going to be a new prospect at featherweight. And Mario Bautista, man.
Tonight, do you think this is the fight where you think you should get some respect for your name?
I really don't worry about it, because even though I didn't even hold this guy at all against the cage, these guys are still booing. And I had, the most significant strikes on the card, and they're still booing. So, and I don't really care to make them happy, So, I don't know. Well, whatever. I'm just going to keep winning and keep moving up the rankings.
Mario Bautista, he's a prime example of unwarranted fan hatred that's driven by influencers. Being a content creator who gets people on board with hating a fighter that you dislike for personal gain, that's what we call dirty macking out here in these streets. This is whenever you're hitting on a girl and a hooper who wants the same ball, stay with me now. He starts playing defense. And they're blocking using rhetorical fallacies to make themselves look better than you in front of the, women that you're around. And I'm speaking figuratively right now, but these are the types of guys, whenever you get around girls, they'll say things like, when are you going to pay me back that $5,000? Or, are those the shoes I gave you? You know what? You can just keep them. It's fine. Or, do you need to borrow my car next week? Content creators are out here slandering hoopers who are just trying to hoop. Mario Bautista has bounties on him getting knocked out from MMA Guru. There's meme campaigns that are being led against this guy. Like, he just absolutely sucks, and it's a complete and utter mistake that he made it as far as he did. And random chance led him to be able to have the opportunities that he's able to enjoy in the UFC. We're loyal to fighters who are widely beloved and dislike fighters who beat them if they don't sleep them out cold. And that's the only way that you get a pass. If Mario Bautista came out and he flatline KO'd Jose Aldo in 3 punches, then everyone would like Mario Bautista. And if he were to beat him any other way, then people would dislike it. Because Ayman Zahabi, he won against Jose Aldo, but there wasn't a great amount of clinching that went on in that fight still. But just for the fact that Jose Aldo was beaten by Ayman Zahabi, and it wasn't a brutal KO that happened in open range like Conor McGregor knocked him out, people don't accept that. A lot of people still don't feel that Ayman Zahabi is like an actual contender in the division just because of the way that he beat a guy who people like more than him. It's risky to be an upcoming contender who takes a matchup with a very well-known veteran because those guys have dedicated fan bases. And if the fight isn't fun to watch, that's going to hurt your career more than if you would have lost. In the eyes of the fans, at least. Obviously, your job is to keep winning, and that's what you should do. But as far as fan perception goes, you really have to tune it out if you're going to fight professionally, just because we're going to get you knocked out. Like, the fans are going to get you knocked out. And he is measured by the merit of his performances, and so long as he keeps winning, then he'll keep on progressing through the UFC. But I'm sure this had to mess with him mentally on some level. Whenever he's out with his family, I'm sure the people who know him in his personal life know what type of person that he is, and they don't bring any of this internet stuff to him. But I'm sure there might have been 1 or 2 times where he was out in public and he saw a guy just snap a picture of him, and he knew that he was going to send it to his friend and call him Mario Bautista, like Bautista. And they post these photos of him. They have to dig from way back because he doesn't really be getting caught lacking like this anymore. They have to pull these old dinosaur clips of Corey Sandhagen finishing him, or Trevin Jones, which isn't a very good loss, but he also got knocked out by Trevin Jones. And so this is a GIF, and like I saved this GIF should not exist. Top text, bottom text, Bautista slept by Garbrandt victim. It's like, dude, Merab is another fighter who people are coming around to his fighting style. And the skill set is there, but it's just the weight of his performances. He gets very big, high-profile fights, but the way that he wins them, it never really results in finish most of the time. And he's immediately swayed me to become a fan of his after one performance. So I am trying to remember this for myself personally too in the future. These fighters who we want to rule out on the basis of being boring, or yeah, they're successful but they don't have styles that are fun to watch, if they're able to win, there's a good chance they do have the skill set to produce fun fights. And so they could just be one performance away from completely changing your mind about the way that you feel about their performances in fights. So I'm going to remember that. And it's a beautiful thing whenever they can still continue to put on good performances, or just put on a randomly amazing performance like Mario Bautista, with the entire fan base and community working against him and preying on their downfall. That's cool. It's inspirational stuff, man. I'm glad that he won this fight. The Joe Pyfer post-fight interview. This was another eye-opener for me, man. Roll the clip.
I'm body cam Pyfer, dog. Salty Joe Pyfer. Poopy pants Pyfer. Like, I'm all this shit. So, I'm just a dude that wanted to change his life, and I chose this sport, and I got a bunch of good people around me, a great fucking team. Everybody's too fucking ignorant, man. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, yeah, I say some shit. People say shit. I'm not butthurt about it. Like, I'm really not. Like, you know, I like the whole Mexico thing, in all seriousness. Like, we made the joke, you know. I just want to say that. We made the joke. It was all good banter. But listen, like, I got told a bunch of mean shit. I'm a human being. Us fighters have hearts. We have blood. We have oxygen that we breathe. Like, we have emotions. And I was really devastated that I couldn't fight. I apologized to Kelvin personally. You know what I mean? I took a picture with him. Like, I respect the guy, you know? So I think people just take this shit too far and try to beat on us fighters. And at the end of the day, like, people are insensitive, and that's fine. But, you know, don't be upset when somebody like me, if I ever see that person to talk shit, wants to punch you in your mouth. So
I let my tongue slip at times, but I really do appreciate these fighters and how hard they try to knock each other out. It's so easy to judge and to point out everything that is not right with the organization and nitpick at fighters individually, but these are servicemen, dude. And they fight for their own careers, but they also care about the fans, and they want to give us a show every single time. They'll show up injured, they'll take these fights whenever they're hurt, or after recovering from horrible injuries. Joe Pyfer broke the hell out of his arm on the Contender Series. They'll still put on fights for us. I think that we look pretty ridiculous crashing out on athletes like Joe Pyfer for being deficient in certain desired personal traits, like not being salty, and making this assumption just based off of some stupid things that he said, or how we assume that he is because of those statements. We feud online with athletes like we can do anything more than make memes. I mean, these are all real people, and we hold them to a higher standard than we hold ourselves most of the time just because they're celebrities, but I don't get why the community wants these people to be like upstanding citizens as they're fighting in the cage. And something that constitutes fan interest for a lot of people who fight in this sport has nothing to do with their ability to fight. It's a lot of mic skills, and it's a lot of personality stuff. I don't think that it should be required for you to have a PR agent as a fighter in order to be successful. I mean, obviously there are certain things that you can't say on the internet in general. I'm not fighting Joe Pyfer. And I feel like that's the reason why the fan base is just ganging up to feel more powerful online and doing things like taking that one clip of him talking about getting food poisoning in Mexico and how he'd never want to go back there, to say that he's like an ICE agent or that he's like a racist police officer, and that's like his character archetype. And they're just trying to troll him online with this. I don't think that's fair at all, man, because like that's his reputation that they're tarnishing, to say that, you know, like he's racist. And we don't even know this guy, man. A lot of people haven't even seen interviews of him talking before, and they just assume that because of the content creators who have released tier lists or have had their opinions on what they think about Joe Pyfer or tag nicknames for him, that he is a certain way. And we don't even know. This is like number one hating stuff, man. This whole "can you sign my petition" thing.
Hi there, would you like to sign my petition?
Okay, I guess that sounds pretty good.
Dana White, in his post-fight press conference interview, he put a hole in this petition talk with a single sentence.
Did you see the petition online from the fans?
Yeah.
What did you just make of that?
Every human on Earth was DMing it to me, and yeah, I saw it.
I mean, I know you say you always listen to the fans and give the fans what they want. I'm just curious what you make of that.
How many fans are there worldwide now? Like, what's the number? It's like 400 million or something like that. Yeah, 130,000 people want to see him stripped.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not enough.
No, I'm not saying that. It's kind of silly.
The CEO is calling for us to stop hating. 200k signs, that's a lot of people. But where was this level of outrage for fighter pay a couple years ago? Or even still? With how much the average fan believes that fighters are underpaid and that they shouldn't be fighting for 12 and 12 to start, how is stripping Jon Jones going to help us support those dudes? In response to Dana saying the UFC has 400 million fans worldwide, only 200k people signed this petition, they started another petition to remove Dana White as the CEO for ignoring the first petition.
Hi there, would you like to sign my petition?
Leave me alone.
You're being used. That one is down at the bottom right corner. It was started by that Tony Has Died fellow. The guy who made this petition that I just named, he has sponsors from gambling websites that he's promoting through his meme page. None of this existed before the 200k people that he got to first sign his petition. So are we really surprised that he always advocates for us to make change through a method that directly benefits him personally? And you just want to feel included in the process of being part of some change? I don't think that this is ever going to actually bear fruit, though, is the thing. And we're trolling ourselves at this point, and he's just getting more popular through this. And it's just through collectively rage baiting all of us. But it's not rage baiting with the intent of getting us upset at him. It's rage baiting with a scapegoat. And the scapegoat is Dana White, bro. And, like, I don't know why we hate Dana White. I don't know why we hate Dana White. Like, there's some things that haven't happened, but Dana White he's the man. Dana White fought the federal government in the United States to be able to host these fights in arenas because they wanted to label it as human cockfighting. And he has let off the gas a little bit with his involvement in the sport. As he reaches the age of 60, he's getting up there, but he's earned it, man, with as hard as he's worked. Y'all may need to petition these nuts, bro, for real. Honestly. I don't even know, like, what you guys want at this point. It's, like, pretty exhausting to just be online and involved in this fan base just because there's so many things that people are asking for, and there's so many things that are happening that people don't want to happen, and nobody's satisfied with anything. So I don't know. I don't know if the solution is to just stop watching, or I really don't get it, man. Like, but I still enjoy this so much. The whole process of watching them train and getting to listen to their interviews and watching their performances on fight nights. I guess Jones is back from Thailand, so they're going to be talking about Jones versus Aspinall on Tuesday whenever they redo the rankings. That's whenever a lot of things happen throughout the week, so that's whenever major updates usually take place, is around that day. I'm advocating for us to just stay positive, man, and to not be lured into these traps that are just ploys to help people get more clout, that are disguised as things that are catering to our interest as fans. Our viewership isn't being promoted. The platform which these campaigns are being promoted is what's being promoted. So we're just really getting people more followers whenever we partake in these petitions and stuff. There's no real change that comes from it. I don't speak as a Jones fan or an Aspinall fan. I really just like the sport, and I don't like how much people are saying the sport is over just because of a couple of things that haven't happened yet. Like, there isn't time left. So let's just chill out, man. The hating needs to stop.